Welcome to the first webinar of our demonstration series of the Hot Dam experience. My name is Rachel, and I am thrilled to guide you through today's session. This webinar is all about showing you the power of the Hot Dam experience, or HDX for short. Sometimes it's easier with those acronyms, so if you hear me say HDX, it means Hot Dam experience. Ultimately, HDX was built to help you manage, organize, and collaborate on your digital assets more effectively. We'll start with a quick overview and then jump into a live demo. Though we won't be answering questions live, we do encourage you to write them in the chat. We will gather these questions up, and your MediaValet representative will get back to you as soon as possible. As we go through this demo today, you may be seeing some things for the first time, or this could be a refresher for you if you've been an early adopter of HDX. Either way, we'd love to see your comments light up the chat, or feel free to use the reaction button. We do love seeing those reactions come through in real time. It gives us that feeling of hot damn. So why HDX? We know that managing digital assets can sometimes feel overwhelming, especially when juggling large libraries, collaborating across teams, or searching for that one perfect file. That's why we here at MediaValet have reimagined the way you interact with the dam. The Hot Dam Experience, HDX, is designed to make you work faster, easier, and more intuitive than ever before. Our goal was to build an interface that's not only visually pleasing, but it also helps you navigate your assets with confidence and speed. Like remodeling a home, one must not only think with a decorative approach, but also, and more importantly, a functional approach. We listen to your feedback and redefine the user experience to meet your evolving needs, helping you maximize the value of your digital assets. In today's demo, we'll walk through a few key workflows to give you a sense of how MediaValet can simplify your day-to-day. We'll focus on searching in the HDX, navigating with ease through the dam, and ways to collaborate to boost your team's efficiency. As we're going through the demo today, think about your own workflow as we tour the Hot Dam experience together. Let's jump in. Let's reveal the Hot Dam experience. If you've already jumped into the Hot Dam experience on your own, this might look relatively familiar to you. If not, you can navigate to the Hot Dam experience in the top right corner of the Classic. Feel free to follow along as we're going through the demo today. So let's do a quick landscape tour of what we're looking at. We have some familiar places. If you are familiar with Classic, your assets are visible in the middle of your screen. You do have your category structure on the left side of your screen. You do also have this new kind of collapsible menu bar on the left. That would be all of the menu bar options on the top of your screen from Classic. We've just slightly shifted them down, but we've also now made those collapsible. As you're navigating through the Hot Dam experience, maybe you want to see more assets. Collapsible menus now allow that user to experience more assets as they need to. They can also zoom in on those assets, view them in grid view or list view. Some familiar functionality there, the collapsible menu definitely an upgrade. You'll see as well we've adjusted where the search bar is. Right at the top of the screen, you can search your entire dam library, and we will walk through searching in the dam in just a moment. You have the Help Center in the bottom left corner of your screen, which has lots of great help from our support team, knowledge articles, how-tos, tons of guides there to help you navigate the HDX experience as well. When clicking on an asset, it'll view in a side panel in a slightly larger thumbnail, but you also have the option to view it in full screen. To my Canadian friends, little city of Toronto, I used to call home. When viewing assets as well, maybe you're wanting to select multiple assets at once. Instead of clicking through one by one, which you still can do, you can actually use your keyboard to navigate assets. So I'm going to click on this one asset, just quickly using my keyboard. You'll be able to see I can navigate with ease, no longer kind of stuck with my mouse. I am a very avid mouse user, so for me, I still like to click, but for my friends on the call today that prefer a keyboard because it is technically faster, you do have that option. When viewing assets as well, jumping back into the full screen, using my keyboard, I can navigate very easily between assets, speeding up the discovery of what you're looking for in the dam. You do also have the option to set HDX as your default, which we do encourage you to do, given that all of the cool functionality that we're going through today will be available on the HDX. So in the top right corner, you can default your experience of MediaValet as the HDX if you choose to. We definitely encourage that. As mentioned, everything today is going to really be navigating through HDX. We want to make sure that folks are really enjoying their experience and not having to kind of toggle back and forth between the two. So this is where you can actually set your experience as default. Let's jump into some searching though, because really that's what we're here for. We're looking to navigate the dam more effectively, more efficiently, and searching for assets is going to be a key component to almost everyone's workflow. As mentioned before, the search bar is now on the top of your screen. You can search for assets very easily in the dam. Let's look up something very simple, enrollment. I had a couple friends go back to school, enrollment's top of mind. So by just searching in one term in the dam, I have my assets popping up here. You can see in the top right corner of each asset, it actually shows you which type of asset it is, whether it's an InDesign file, a PDF, a PNG, many different types of files there as well. You can also search with all of these different advanced fields. Maybe you want to search in a specific category. Maybe you are looking for a specific file type. You can look by upload date, status, those custom attributes as well as all of these other different fields in the top of your screen. If you're familiar with me and you've had trainings with me before, I often say you need to practice searching. It sounds silly, I know, but feel free when you're in your HDX experience, practice searching. Try the different filters, see what comes up as you're navigating through the dam. We also have some abilities to search with artificial intelligence, something that we're calling smart image search. It is a new function for MediaValet and exclusive to the Hot Dam experience. Definitely a benefit of coming over to HDX is being able to use something like smart image search. What smart image search does, it helps you find assets that maybe tell a story or you're using terminology that might not be captured through metadata. Smart image search will help you find these assets a lot more relevant, more quickly, but also for those users that might think outside the box beyond the metadata kind of parameters. Smart image search will help those individuals find the assets that they're looking for. Let's look at some examples of smart image search. Let's say, speaking with school, I'm going to look for celebrating graduation. Without smart image search, I have not found any results. What smart image search is going to do is actually scan all of your assets and using artificial intelligence in a semantic way, start to describe those assets and produce results. Smart image search is like searching with magic. The button next to your search bar looks kind of like magic. By flagging that on, I'm now able to discover assets that are described as celebrating graduation, regardless of metadata. Metadata is still important. We still encourage you to use metadata, but if someone is new to your organization and maybe doesn't know the internal language or what to search for, having something like Smart Image Search will help those users find the assets they need based on what they're trying to describe. If we looked at, let's say we're doing a tourism pamphlet, I'm going to look for a night out. With smart image search, these assets have been populated based on what artificial intelligence is saying. This looks like a night out. And I think we're looking at these, we can definitely agree there is a level of enjoyment, night out, really great kind of lifestyle photos there. But maybe I want to say night out in heels. It's very cold here and no one is wearing heels here for quite some time. So maybe I'm just thinking of the future, the summer months. But you'll see here, I've been able to generate some results. It's always going to start with the most relevant, and then it'll start to give you some results that maybe it's not 100% accurate, but it might be what you're thinking. It's suggesting these ones might be relevant. But with the smart image search, your users will be able to discover those assets without having to worry about the constraints of metadata if they don't happen to know what to look for or they don't understand the metadata language put into the DAM already. Now, searching, all well and good, but now we want to do something with those assets. And that's where the actions are going to come in play, whether it's sharing, downloading, or my personal favorite, adding to a collection. Let's first click on a asset here. You have the option to have a look at the metadata, the information, but you also have the ability to share, download, whatever it may be. What we're going to do is actually jump into something called collections. Once we do that, we'll talk about the sharing, the downloading, what you can do with those assets. Under collections, you may be familiar with lightboxes in Classic. These are lightboxes reimagined. So we've given additional functionality to lightboxes, now calling them collections because they truly are a place to collect assets. What I'm going to do here is just create a quick collection. I'm going to call it Tourism 2025 Brochure, Nightlife for the website and brochure. Create. Maybe I'm working on a team project. Maybe I'm working on a website design. There's so many different workflows and projects that I have heard customers are working towards. Collections is a great place to kind of bring all those assets together in a workspace to kind of figure out what images, what patterns, what are we going to work towards, what's our vision for that project. So by creating a collection, I can now come and add assets to that collection. So let's go back to that night out. Smart image search still flagged on. I'm going to select a couple of these assets. Now on the bottom, I have the option to share. I have the option to download. I do also have the option to add to collections. You'll see that your collections are showing up here. You also have the ability to create new collections on the fly. So collection 2025. I don't think I saved it in my last little spot there, but collection description for website. Create. The great thing about a collection is you can have it as a personal workspace for yourself, but we can actually also collaborate on that collection itself. So what I'm going to do is add those assets to that collection. Jumping back over to my collection, I can run many searches. I can run lots of different asset collections, bring them all together into one space, ultimately creating a little workspace for myself that doesn't affect the integrity of the DAM. I can add and remove assets from this collection. I'm not adding or deleting assets from the DAM. My little workspace. But as I mentioned, with the ability to now collaborate on these collections, I'm going to come in here and share the collection. I can now share it with someone. My friend Claire is on the call, so I'm going to share this with Claire. I have the ability, does Claire view it only, or does she add or remove the assets? And my option here, I'm going to put in as a message, hey, Claire, can you take a look at these and let me know what works? And now I can share that with Claire. Now, if I had accidentally sent that to Claire and I was like, oh, Claire is not on this presentation, she's not on this project, I can actually come in here and make that adjustment to the management here. Maybe I'm like, okay, Claire actually should not be on this. I can remove her as a collaborator, or I can also revoke her permissions by asking her just to view those permissions. With those collections being more collaborative, I can only imagine all of you are thinking, oh, I can now collaborate with my colleagues, my teammates. I'm working on projects. I can get their input. With the collections, more collaboration within the workspace, within your assets, really just giving you a full view of what those projects are being worked on. With these collections as well, if you needed to share or download or do any other actions for those assets, having a collection is a great place to bring a bunch of assets together. Then you can share them. Then you can download them. Let's say I wanted to share these assets. I can select the page. I could deselect assets. The action buttons at the bottom of the screen will appear whether it's one asset or many. I now have the option to share as a collection or a web gallery, maybe a zip file, depending on my permissions. I could also maybe send it as an asset link if it's one asset. I also have the option to download, or I can add it to a different collection. Here as well, because I'm an admin in the DAM, I have options to edit the metadata, so attributes and keywords. I can remove it from the collection. Lots of different functionality there. Sharing as a web gallery may be familiar for you if you do share within the classic version of MediaValet. By clicking this, you'll see that you have the options for originals and thumbnails and large. If you do share assets from Classic, this should look very familiar. It's a very similar workflow. What we really try to do with HDX is really consider change management. We wanted to enhance the system without taking away too much of the original. So it is a bigger and better system. Some of the workflows will appear very similar. Hopping back into the DAM here, you can see I have a lot of different assets. I can still navigate through my categories, but that search bar is really going to be the powerful tool to help me discover those assets. You have the option again, reiterating, Smart Image Search. You can flag it on or off depending on how you prefer to search. If you really happen to know the metadata in your DAM, you may not need Smart Image Search for most daily searches, but it is a great tool to have in the back pocket if you are looking for lifestyle photos or not familiar with the new metadata, maybe that is in the DAM. The power tool between Smart Image Search and just a general search paired together is going to help you find those assets effectively, efficiently, but also effortlessly. Being able to navigate the DAM with keywords and attributes, but also then relying on things like artificial intelligence is really the whole package together to help you find those assets that you need. On the left here in the blue, you'll see that there are some other tabs as well. If in your DAM you have access to face recognition, if you have access to branded portals or templates, you'll find that navigation on the left. The upload process is there as well for users who do have the ability to upload. And then again, navigating through your categories with the cascading folder structure, being able to find all of the assets that you need to. When clicking on an asset, you have the option to see the overview of that asset, so just general information. You have the ability to take a look at all of the metadata of that asset. You also have the ability in your DAM, if it's turned on, for proofing and face recognition. You'll be able to see within the approved status if it is approved, rejected. You'll also be able to have the options here to see more details. You can share, download, add to a collection, and other options here like adding metadata. So when you're navigating through HDX, whether you need to search for assets, whether you need to apply metadata, maybe you just are navigating to see what's in the DAM. You have many ways to view those assets. You have many ways to understand the information on those assets, ultimately giving you the flexibility to work within the DAM giving you the flexibility to work collaboratively in the dam, but also giving you that flexibility to find what you need to in your own way. Whether you like searching in the search bar, whether you like navigating through the categories, whether you like having the time to go through all of the assets. I wish we all had the time to go through every single asset all the time because there's some beautiful content out there. Whatever way you want to discover those assets, MediaValet has made the dam accessible. It has made it collaborative, but also effortless. Collapsing the menus as well gives you a little bit more freedom around navigating whether you're working on a small laptop, a large laptop, or maybe a larger monitor as well. So with the HDX, you may have some questions. We do encourage those questions to be popped into the chat. Your success manager, your account manager, or if you're working with an account executive, one individual, whoever you're working with, will be able to answer those questions for you. We're gathering those questions that you have. We are also having additional webinars around the hot dam experience. This month is this one, next month has one, and then March as well, really jumping into 2025. But I hope you enjoyed the walkthrough and thank you for joining today's session. We're thrilled to have shared the power of HDX with you, and we hope you're excited to make it your default. Once again, seeing the default in the top right corner, flag on that hot dam experience as default. Now, remember, we do host these every month. So again, the next one's coming up in February. Thanks again for being here, and we do look forward to helping you get the most out of your digital asset management experience.